Chip Reid up early for us in San Francisco. We appreciate it, Chip. Where Donald Trump and John Kasich will be speaking to California Republican leaders again today, as I mentioned. Now, Chip, some Republican leaders we saw really, especially over the last 24 hours, seem to be warming to a degree to the idea of Donald Trump as the GOP nominee. How much of that, though, is influenced simply by their simultaneous dislike of Ted Cruz?
Well, I tell you, dislike for Ted Cruz is way high on the scale, but there's a lot more going on than that. It is also a matter of them feeling it's becoming inevitable. Now, Cruz says it's the media who's making it look inevitable, but in fact, it's what we're hearing from Republicans. They're saying they just don't think it's worth the fight because they don't think they can win it. There was one Republican member of the House this week who said that he now supports Trump after initially saying he did not support him, and he said to his fellow Republicans, wake up and smell the coffee. There's also the factor of fatigue. A lot of Republicans just are tired of this, and they don't want to go through a chaotic, open, contested convention that they think they would probably lose anyway. So you have the dislike of Cruz, inevitability, the fact that they're just plain tired of all this. Republicans gradually, there's still plenty of people holding back, but Republicans, mainstream establishment Republicans, gradually accepting the possibility that Donald Trump is going to be their nominee. Josh?
What to make then, Chip, of really an inevitability that was foreseen perhaps here as Ted Cruz then tried to spin these insults as evidence that Donald Trump is cozy with the establishment?
Yeah, you know, he's been making that argument for a while, and it really hasn't gone anywhere. Recently, he's continued to make that argument. He also picked Carly Fiorina as his vice presidential choice. He also teamed up with John Kasich for this elaborate plan where they would campaign in states they think they're going to win, but not campaign against each other in states where they think they were going to lose, hoping that Kasich and Cruz could figure out some way working together to defeat Donald Trump. And all those things do is make him sound desperate. And again, that's not me saying that. That is Republicans saying that. They are feeling more and more that Cruz is just throwing mud at the wall and trying to and hoping that something will stick. Because Donald Trump appears to have a big momentum right now. Now, having said that, we have to see what happens in Indiana and eventually what happens here in California. This could be the place where everything is finally decided. Cruz still thinks it could be an open, contested convention, but again, the list of Republicans, mainstream establishment Republicans who are kind of throwing in the towel is growing every day.
Speaking of there in California, again, Donald Trump and John Kasich, in fact, will both be addressing Republican Party leaders in the state there later today. What do we expect?
Well, I'll tell you one thing we can expect, expanding upon what you said in your lead-in, is that we talked to law enforcement officials down in Burlingame, the community just south of San Francisco, where Trump will be speaking today, and they say they are preparing for 3,000 protesters because that's what they expect, but they're also going to be ready for as many as 10,000. It is going to be huge.
And
Josh?
we can only hope that it is more peaceful than it was last night there in Costa Mesa. Chip Reid in San Francisco, we appreciate it.